I'm a physical media nerd. Not as much as some, but definitely more than others. When I tell people I collect VHS, they're typically surprised and think it's kinda neat. After that, I accidentally go into a tangent about the dangers of subscription services, how much I hate David Zaslav's antics, and then I end up texting my wife about a $300 VHS tape I wanna get. Spoiler alert, I never get it. So with that in mind, the question that comes to head for me when I'm about to watch a new movie, specifically an older one, is on which format should I watch it? Streaming service, Blu-ray, DVD, DVD on my box TV, VHS, VHS on my projector, on my Nintendo DSi, who knows? If I have people come over around the holidays, I usually pop in a VHS that coincides with the time of year. If it's available, I also pop one in around the time of Halloween to watch a new horror movie, or at least new to me. Over the last couple of years, I've been introducing my friend to the horror genre and I've come across this exact crossroad. If I'm going to show him an older horror movie, do I show it to him on VHS or on a higher quality, more modern edition of a movie's release? This happened with Scream, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and probably a couple others I can't think of right now. Thankfully, my wife and friend also enjoy that format, so they're usually down. The crackly audio out of my single working speaker, the promotional material with trailer voice.
He didn't make the rules, he just kills by them.
And most importantly, the distorted or otherwise grainy, not as high quality visuals. Where this feels important to me is during my viewings of 1978's Halloween. I would say I'm more than a little protective of the idea of what I think Michael Myers is. I see him as a mass, a physical manifestation of wrong, a rabid animal with no malintent, just movements that end in what we consider to be evil. Is this how everyone views him? Maybe, I'm not really sure. I tend to stay away from the discussions online because I kind of want to maintain the idea that I had of him on my first viewing. This is why I'm apprehensive about watching the sequels, but I know I'll get around to it one day. But let's go back to the first thing I used to describe him a second ago, a mass. This is where the main crux of the way I like to view the movie is. Comparing the same scenes side by side on Blu-ray and my box TV, this comes across very differently. As far as what scares me, this is one of the scariest shots in all of horror. Through the box TV, we get an idea of what is across the street. In real life, if we were faced with this visual, we wouldn't have a clear idea of who is across the street, what they're wearing, or why in place of a face, we just see white. Going back to the Blu-ray, this isn't to say that it paints an entirely clear picture, but it does give us the opportunity to make out more than what we might be able to otherwise. Moving on to Bob's death scene, we're going to be taking a look at something that was very frustrating to me at one point in time watching this movie, but now I've come to adore. Bob's death is so obscured by shadows we can barely tell what's happening at all. Plus, the other thing that bothers me is something that we all know.
What is so wrong? It's too red!
At an earlier point in my relationship with this movie, I found this very frustrating because I was so used to the modern gore and violence that we would see. Nowadays, we really watch the knives go in, but here, much like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot less is showing than you would initially think on your first watching of the movie. That's what makes this line in Scream so funny.
It's too red!
When watching this on VHS, the lighting issues are even more intensified. Michael's moving through the house, not just concealed by the shadows, but moving as if he is a part of them. His silhouette and the classic head tilt are minor movements in what I like to view as not human. It's like when a dog smiles at you or a cat waves. It's so funny seeing something that's not human do a human thing. It's not adorable when Michael does it, but it's very creepy. On a larger, cleaner version, if we see mannerisms throughout the movie, minor moments like this don't hit nearly as hard. When watching something on Blu-ray though, it is nice to get those crispy, clean textures because things become really immersive for us. The feeling of being this close to Michael in the kitchen is really there. In another death scene, we're put very close to Michael in a very intimate way. When Annie dies, we're separated only by glass. We're supposed to feel the intense physical closeness while he chokes her, but very intentionally Michael is obscured by the fog. It's my belief that John Carpenter felt the same way I do about Michael being more of a mass than a physical being, as represented by his name, The Shape. In the classic mention of Show Don't Tell, we're following the general principle that they want to convey emotion, meaning, or information to the audience, while giving us as little information as possible with hand-holding. When we're given less pixels or less clarity or whatever the technical terms are, we have to let our brains fill in these moments. I think that the music is a great example of this as well. Carpenter's score is perfectly paced and unsettling, either bringing us to the edge of our seats with high-octane pianos, or making us sit back as far as we can with his tension-building, slower-paced music. When you listen to something with headphones on, you get every key, every note, every layer. But when movies are turned to Blu-ray or 4K, images are upscaled and audio is made clearer. With a VHS copy of the movie though, the simplistic strong notes hit hard, bringing to the forefront the exact emotion that they want you to feel, while maybe you can't hear it extremely clearly. This isn't to say that hearing the highest quality version of this is bad though. One really strong piece of the reboot trilogy, and on my rewatch of it recently, was the music. I turned the audio up super loud and allowed the immersion to take hold on my most recent viewing. So should you buy Blu-ray? Yeah, of course. I'm not saying that they're worthless. There are definitely even older movies that are really good to have these higher quality displays, like Alien for its great set design and great creature design. I'm just using this video to make myself feel better about the money and time I put into my VHS collection. I do genuinely think that the use of VHS is a great way to watch a movie though. So I implore you, go to your parents' garage or go to a local thrift store and see a new movie or an old movie on this experience. It can be very comforting and remind you of a simpler time like it does for people my age or older. Or if you're discovering a movie for the first time and you have access to watching it on this format, give it a shot and see how effectively this movie scares you. Watching the original Nightmare on Elm Street with a heavily silhouetted Freddy hits very hard. If you guys want a video about my VHS horror collection, just let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, share it around, give it a like, subscribe if you really want to. Otherwise, thank you for watching.